Hello everybody! I just want to throw in a quick little intro here because the video that you're about to watch is actually around a year old. I did film it after attending Blizzcon in 2019. I filmed this mid to late November 2019. And then I never really actually got around to finishing editing it. And then, 2020 happened. So it's been a little while. Because it's close to the time of year when BlizzCon 2020 would have happened, I thought it'd be really fun to finish editing this video and post it so that anybody who wants to kind of relive some of those BlizzCon 2019 memories can also appreciate my experience from going. Last year was actually the first time that I've ever attended BlizzCon. I have attended a couple of other conventions before, so it's not my first convention experience, but it was my first time at BlizzCon. And I had a really amazing time, and I was really looking forward to BlizzCon 2020, and I hope that we will be able to hold BlizzCon again in the future years, and hopefully my video can help anybody else who maybe has never attended BlizzCon before to kind of have a couple of pointers for things to look out for that I experienced in my first time attending BlizzCon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoy the video. What's good, gamers? Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be talking about my experience at BlizzCon 2019. Yay! It was so fun. I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to go and experience this. I really do love conventions. I've only actually been to a couple of conventions before in my time, but I really enjoyed them. I think I'm definitely like a convention person. I think how I'm going to structure this is I'm going to first go through and kind of like tell my experiences and what happened and kind of allude to tips and, not tricks, but just things that I learned and my advice for myself and for other people going to BlizzCon or people who are interested in BlizzCon. So BlizzCon was on Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd. We decided that we were going to book a hotel there the night before and then also stay there on Friday night, and we decided to leave on Saturday and not book that extra hotel night because we lived close enough that we could drive after the convention was done, and we thought that would be good. We stayed at the Marriott Suites, which was down the road from the convention center, so it looked really close on the map, and we maybe definitely thought that we were going to be able to like walk to the convention center in the morning. That did not happen, so we ended up Ubering to and from the convention center from our hotel, which worked out pretty well, and I'll talk more about that later, I guess. So we arrived for our convention on Thursday, Halloween. We weren't really sure what was like going on Thursday. We decided we were gonna go across the street at the hotel next to the convention center called The Calm Before the Storm, and that there was gonna be some YouTubers there named Talius and Inevital who do World of Warcraft content, and that they were having a meet and greet. When we got there, we knew that we were gonna need our badges to get into this pre-convention thing, and when we went, the line looked pretty long, and we were kind of worried, okay, maybe this is going to take us a long time to get our badges, and surprisingly the line took like 15 minutes. They were super fast. They had, pre-check-in before you got there, and then you went up to the window and handed the thing and they scanned it and boom, there's your badge. So got our badges in like 15 minutes, which was awesome. I'm super glad that we did not wait until Friday morning to try and like get in line to get our badges. So I definitely recommend, if you are going to be at BlizzCon the day before, to go get your badge on Thursday instead of on Friday, or depending whatever day before they have it. So we got our badges and then we went to the hotel. There was a lot of people there. There was a lot more people than we thought. When we first walked in, there was a bunch of art stuff in front of us, and then the room went all the way to the back, and so we were like, okay, well I guess we'll just keep moving. So we're kind of awkwardly just walking around this room, and we made our way to the back and finally saw the Talius and Inevital booth, and we also saw a line for it, and the line for it was extremely long. Long story short, we waited in line for 3 hours. So, yeah, so we waited there for a long time. One of my friends stayed in line, and we went and looked at the art stuff. I bought a couple of art pieces, which actually, let me. So this is what the BlizzCon passes look like, covering up a little information there. But it's just a plastic sleeve, and it also comes with a lanyard on the end of it so you can wear it around your neck. You also do get a green wristband that you have to wear on your right wrist. So on my lanyard I got 2 pins. These are the 2 that I purchased while I was there, and a keychain. The keychain is a little pixel art pusheen, and I got an Alaria pin and a GG pin. So these are super awesome. I was super happy to have these. The Alaria pin was also like limited edition. I think there was only 100 they said that they made, so this is my limited edition item from BlizzCon. So yeah, that was super awesome that we got to go see some art, and then we were waiting in line to meet Talis and Avital, and I did get their signature on the back of my BlizzCon lanyard, so that was awesome. They were super nice, they're really sweet. At one point, one of the people running the booth like started passing out candy to everybody waiting in line, so that was really funny. So come Friday morning, we end up arriving at the convention center at about 8:15 in the morning. Welcome to BlizzCon, boys. Lock Taro Gomer. The main thing that's happening on Friday morning is the opening ceremony, obviously, where they're announcing basically what's happening with all the games and all the new information and stuff like that. So we were trying to get seats at opening ceremony. We knew it was in Hall D. We didn't know where it was because we hadn't actually been to the convention center yet, and we didn't know how early to get there because we didn't know how busy it was gonna be. We got there, we were waiting in line, we were waiting about... So at the front of the convention center, there's big banners posted, and then behind us there was like a fountain. So we were kind of halfway between the doors and the fountain. So we thought, okay, cool, we can see the doors of the convention center, like we're gonna have a seat, we're pretty close up. And I remember looking behind us and seeing the massive amount of people behind us and thinking that we were gonna be good. They opened the doors, people started rushing in.
This is why Mechatorp was hard.
Oh my god. This is oh my god.
Good. Keep going. No stop.
And we saw people were funneling in and looking at maybe other things that were happening. There was a bunch of other stages, there was a bunch of crap, I couldn't look at anything. It was also extremely dark. I don't know why it was so dark in there. I assume it's because they have all the demo screens, so they don't want the computer screens to have glare, so it's like, and also the viewing screens. So we tried to break out of the crowd and walk down to go to the hall that we wanted to go to, and as we got there, there were security guards. Nope, get back in line, get back in the fish pile, like go that way. So then we were like, okay, so turn back, had to go through. We got to Hall D, finally, we're walking, we're being funneled, people are pushing past us, we're just like, oh my god. I was grabbing onto my friend's backpack, and as they were walking, we had like a little line going. So we get to Hall D, and there's no seats.
You can't see anything. There's too many people in here. What the fuck is going on?
There's no way, we're walking. So we start at the back is full, and we keep walking. Of course, if the back is full, that means that the front is gonna be full as well. So we did not end up getting seats. We ended up standing in the back, and then at some point, one of the security managers came over and said, hey, you guys can't stand here, so we went and stood on the side instead. And that was kind of close to, so it was on the left side of the hall, and it was near all the concessions. I went in line and got coffee. It took me about an hour to get coffee. And mind you that Friday, November 1st, was not only the first day of BlizzCon, but at the exact same time, like literally right as I was about to go up and order my coffee, it became 10 o'clock in the morning. Refresh, 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 refresh. Oh my god, the website's broken. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Because I was trying to get the conspiracy ballot. I was ordering this. Obviously, I was able to get it because I do have it here. But that's a different story. Pretty stressful morning. I end up getting my coffee. It's like 10 a.m. now. So we've been standing since 8:30 when we got there. 8:20, 8:30 when we got there. And opening ceremony starts at 11, so by 11 o'clock our feet were pretty tired, but then they started showing us pretty pictures on the screen, so we forgot about how tired our feet were, and we watched opening ceremony, and it was really awesome. They announced Diablo 4. They announced the new World of Warcraft expansion.
I am so honored and humbled to be up here with all of you on behalf of World of Warcraft as it turns 15.
And they announced Overwatch 2.
Very quiet up there. So I feel like you and you know who I'm talking to.
And some Hearthstone stuff, and you know, all the other like smaller things, I would say, arguably. My advice for myself next year and for other people interested in attending BlizzCon in the future would be that it wasn't like you have to be in Hall D or you're not getting the experience. They did a pretty good job of spreading it out, and we didn't even see the stage anyways. We were mostly looking at the screen. You look for what panels you want to go to after opening ceremony and choose the viewing room that's closest to that, because then you'll have an easier time getting seats for what you actually want to see. Once opening ceremony's done, everybody leaves. Like, the majority of the people sitting down will leave, and so I was able to get better seats because people were leaving, so I was able to go and sit and kind of like scoot closer and closer as people were leaving. If you do want to get seats for opening ceremony, I believe you would need to get to the convention center at least 7 a.m. like in line at the convention center 7 a.m. not getting ready and leaving at 7. I feel like if we had gotten there earlier, we probably would have been able to get seats. So if you really do want to get seats in Hall D specifically, I cannot speak for the other arenas because I really didn't see how full they were. I would say get there at 7 a.m. If you get to the hall or wherever, whichever one you're going to, and there are not seats close up, position yourself for the screens. And this also serves for like any panel that you're going to during BlizzCon. So I would recommend just sitting so that your neck is not like this the entire time. And also, if there's nothing that you really want to attend before the panel that you do, go to that room early because you'll be able to get a better seat that way. When people leave, you can go in and snag seats. Around lunchtime, I think it was probably like 2 o'clock or something, I started getting hungry. So we decided to get lunch at the convention center. So in Hall D, there was a concession stand basically in the room off to the side. It was really dark. We ended up getting they were like loaded pork nachos or something, and they were really good on the first day. They were about $10, and I felt like for the amount of food that I got, it was worth the price. It was expensive because it's convention food, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was at Disneyland across the street where it was gonna be like $20 for some nachos. So I would say that the food was really well priced. The bottles of water and soda were $3. You were able to bring in bottled water, but it had to be sealed. And then they had like snacks and stuff that were reasonably priced. So I would say food overall in Hall D, that's the only place I ended up eating actually at the convention center. I did enjoy it. The second day, however, when I got the same thing on the second day, it was not as good. And it was like cold, so my food was cold. They had dyed the cheese pink for some reason, which it wasn't on the first day. Right as I got my food on the second day, it was the Diablo, like one of the Diablo panels. And so the lighting was like super red. They had all the red lights on, and so I was staring at my food and it just looked disgusting because it was red lights on pink cheese. It was really weird. And they also did not have any bacon bits, which they had the first day, which really like made it feel good. But the first day it was really good. I would recommend it. I think just on the second day they start running out of food and stuff, so I would recommend getting food on the first day there and maybe trying out some of the food trucks on the second day, which is what I think I'll do in future attendances of BlizzCon. So after we went to a couple panels in Hall D, we decided that we were going to go to the Overwatch animation panel because that's something that I'm interested in. So we were really excited to go to that panel. So we ended up going down the hall and into one of the other buildings, which was, I think it was like the Dark Moon Fair building. And that was really awesome. I really wish we had spent more time in that room and like getting to look around. And that's definitely a good photo op room. One of my regrets from this year was that I didn't really explore the convention center that much. I kind of just sat in Hall D the whole time and like a couple of times left. Okay, so what I would recommend is getting there the day before and using that to explore the convention center, and also to go to the shop, which will come up later. And also like spending part of your time on either of the 2 days just like not going to a panel, like looking around, walking around, seeing all the cosplayers, seeing all the different like events and things that were happening. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on that I felt like I didn't really get to experience. The last thing we went to was community night on Friday. And I would highly recommend community night. I didn't really know what it was at first. I knew there was gonna be like cosplay stuff, but I didn't know kind of like what else. So it ended up that there was like, it was basically like a big competition, but like for things in the community. So there was a talent contest, there was a cosplay contest, there was a short film contest, and like an art contest and stuff. So they had Darren DePaul up on stage with his classic Reinhardt voice, you know.
I transform. I become a brave person. I become Reinhardt!
Talking through all the different things and presenting all the artwork and stuff like that. And then they had like a bunch of cosplayers come out, and they had lots of different categories for the cosplayers. So they had like armor, large scale fabrication, they had group fabrication, they had outstanding creation, and then the winners of those categories went against each other for like the best costume that was there. So that was really fun. I would really recommend going to community night. I thought it was really fun, and I didn't think I was gonna want to stay for the entire time, but I ended up staying almost the entire time. So of course after Friday comes Saturday. So Saturday morning we decided that we still wanted to get into the 10 a.m. voice acting panel. So we got to the convention center around the same time as the day before, and we had no issue getting seats. So if you want to get into a panel on day 2, you have a lot better options of getting like a seat than you do on day one. It was so much less busy in the morning. We went to the voice acting panel for World of Warcraft, which was really awesome. They did a great job with that panel, and it was definitely like an awesome experience to go. They had a bunch of the voice actors like live act some of the cinematics. Super cool. Very, very awesome. I would highly recommend going to that. And I know that they do different things each year. Like last year they had Laura Bailey singing, which was like, oh my god, I wish I could have been there for that. That would have been really sick.
Death comes, old soldier, and all their hope dies with you.
You cannot kill hope. You tried at Teldrassil. Hope remains. You failed. You set us to kill each other at Lordaeron. You failed. Still we stand. You just keep failing. The Horde will endure. The Horde is strong.
The Horde is nothing!
You know, Thrall, sometimes I should have just let those two annihilate you and your family.
6 miles I walked.
Fruit, wheat, I'm gluten-free, you know that.
So after the voice acting panel, there was a couple of World of Warcraft panels in Hall D that we wanted to go to, which was the deep dive as well as the Q&A with Talius and Inevitel, who we met previously. So we definitely wanted to stay for those. So I ended up basically just sitting in Hall D again the entire second day. So after watching all the panels that we wanted to on day 2, we decided to go and play the game demos. So at this point we hadn't even tried to go to game demos, or at least I hadn't. And there was 3 main ones that we wanted to play, which was the World of Warcraft Shadowlands demo, the Overwatch 2 demo, and the Diablo 4 demo. The booths were run well. We were standing, there was long lines, but it didn't feel like we were waiting that long. They were constantly moving us in and putting us to computers. So I would say we probably waited in each line for like 30 minutes maybe. And then after you play the game, they have a small computer set up with like feedback opportunities, so you can choose to give feedback on the games, which I was really happy to be able to do. As someone who studied game design, I really feel strongly about giving constructive, positive feedback to the teams. It was a really nice opportunity to be able to like directly feel like I'm actually giving feedback. All the games were awesome. Overwatch 2 was really fun. It looks really good. So basically it's like the story missions now that they have. So it's kind of like the events. So where you play as like 4 specific characters and you go through like a story. That's basically what Overwatch 2 is, I think. Don't ask me what Overwatch 2 is, I don't actually know, you have to ask Jeff Kaplan. World of Warcraft Shadowlands was good. I'm really excited for that. It looks beautiful. I'm really happy to like get a taste of the new expansion, and I'm really looking forward to it. Diablo 4 was really fun. I have never touched a Diablo game before this demo. I am considering getting Diablo 4, like that's how fun I thought it was, and I've never played Diablo before. I didn't know how to equip my loot, so like I had all the stuff that I was picking up, I didn't know how to equip it because it's like a 20-minute demo, so you're just like quickly trying to go through and do the quest. Highly recommend. Play game demos if they are available to you. They were super fun. We were gonna be driving straight home after Blizzcon, and so we didn't want to leave too late at night, so we weren't driving on the freeway at night, so we decided to leave. So we ended up going to the gear store right before we left, and basically everything was sold out. It was pretty slim pickings. They had this little side area set up where they had a bunch of the merchandise, like clothing that they were selling, so you could actually like try it on and see what size would fit you, which was really helpful because their jacket size varies a lot. There's the aisle with all the merch displayed, there's the fitting room, and then if you go into the line to like check out, they give you this little booklet that has all the stuff that you can buy, and then on the end it has like a card that I get you're supposed to like check which things you want. I got mine in small, and I was the only one who was able to get a shirt. Basically, my store experience overall was not very good. I would say it probably would have been better if I had gone to the store earlier in the weekend, and I would recommend if you're going to be able to go a day before the convention actually starts, that you go to the store that first day, because then it's also fun to like actually wear your merch while you're walking around the convention center. Some other general recommendations that I would make is if you can afford it, I would recommend to stay in a hotel near Blizzcon the night before. So in this case it was Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So I would recommend staying for 3 nights. I think personally, for me at least, it's going to be the best option because even if you can, if you live close enough that you could drive home on Saturday, it causes a lot of unnecessary stress. If you have the ability to stay for that last night, it gives you time to like wind down from the convention. It definitely felt very weird being home the same night of the convention. Like I felt like I was still in BlizzCon mode and I didn't really have that time to kind of process, and I felt very rushed. Staying the night before allows you to go to extra events like what we went to, which was the Con Before the Storm, which was hosted by Wowhead, I believe. If money is a concern for you, staying a little bit further away and then spending that extra little bit on Ubering back and forth was definitely worth it. I think you'd save so much more money than staying at the convention center. Whatever works best for you and your situation, but for me, I definitely think that staying a little bit further away and just Ubering was 100% worth it to me. My last piece of advice has to deal with the people that you attend the convention with. Being with somebody else is definitely the preferred experience. It makes everything a lot less scary because you're not alone. It makes it easier to maybe like save seats at a panel, like you can save one seat while somebody else goes and checks stuff out. Make sure that you both have the same feelings about conventions. If you both really love attending conventions and love waking up early and staying until super late for those couple days and that makes you super happy, go with that kind of a person. And if you're somebody who doesn't care about getting there super early and doesn't want to stay there super late, go with people of the same type. Secondly, make sure that you're setting up your panel priorities beforehand with the people that you're attending with. I would definitely recommend looking at the released list of events, at least, I mean, as soon as they release it, because they only release it like a couple days before the convention. So looking at that and really seriously thinking about, okay, well, which panels do I want to go to? Which things are important to me? And don't be afraid to split up with your party and meet up later at a different panel. Like, go to whichever things you're interested in. I definitely recommend that, but I also would say don't be afraid of making new friends at the convention. I definitely talked to a lot of people that I really enjoyed talking to. Here's my TLDR of convention advice for BlizzCon 2020 or years in the future based on my experiences from attending BlizzCon 2019. Number 1, arrive a day earlier than the convention. Go to the shop and check in on this day. These are the 2 most important things in my opinion to do on this day. Get your badge and also check out the gear store because you want to make sure you get everything before it's sold out. Number 2, book your hotel, staying the night before and staying on the last night of the convention, so you're staying a total of 3 nights. This is super important. I think it would really improve my BlizzCon experience, and I think that for the majority of other people's, this would also be the best way to do it as well. Number 3, if you want to get seated at the opening ceremony, get there pretty early, at least 7 a.m. or go to a different showroom and try to get a seat there instead of going to the main hall. 3.5, when you get seated, if you're able to get seats and you're not able to get close enough to the stage, position yourself at a good distance to the screens. There's giant screens on the ceiling. Make sure that you're not craning your neck to see those so you can actually watch what's going on comfortably. Number 4, explore the convention center. I'm not sure how much you can explore the day before because I didn't end up going, but if you can on, the Thursday before the convention, go and look around and see where all the rooms are and see the decorations and stuff, because I really feel like I missed out on that and I didn't really see anything besides Hall D and a little bit of the Dark Moon Fair area. So while you're there or the day before, go and explore the convention center, see where all the rooms are, see what's there and all the decorations and small things that you might miss if you only go to Hall D. Number 5, if you're spending money to be there, be there. Go early, stay late. That's my best way of attending a convention, and I think that that is a pretty no-brainer. Lastly, make sure you're going with a couple of friends. I highly recommend this, and also make sure that you and your friends have the same mindset about attending conventions. Things to what panels you want to go to, how early you want to get there, how late you want to stay there, and just what your general flow for conventions is going to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Sorry if it was a little bit long and rambly, if I tend to talk too fast, but I was just really excited to share my experiences at BlizzCon, and I hope that I helped you in your preparation and planning for future BlizzCon attendance, and hopefully I'll see you there, because I hope that I can go to BlizzCon 2020, and hopefully I'll be in cosplay. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.